it's just a part of the process. Like, you want to be president, you have to bomb Yemen, right? That is so crazy. Yeah, Donald Trump is also talking about how he's destroying the Houthis. The Houthis gather for instructions on attack. Oops, there will be no attack by these Houthis. They will never sink our ships again. Except, so far, the White House has revealed that they've spent almost close to $1 billion, and it has not put a dent in the capabilities of Houthis. Oh, wait, is it 200 million? I thought it was like nearing $1 billion already. I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump in the past 20 days of relentless bombing of the Houthis has unironically spent almost as much money as the Brandon camp did over the course of many months. That's just for munitions. The other figure is drones. Yeah, the cost of U.S. military offensive against the Houthis is nearing $1 billion, even as the attacks have limited impact. Fantastic stuff from this administration. I did want to cover this part because, like I said, Donald Trump posted the Houthis have gathered instructions on attack. He did this today. He did this earlier today on Truth Social and then reposted it on Twitter. The reason why he's doing this is because of the New York Times article that came out and the subsequent CNN reporting that came out that showed that Donald Trump, much like Joe Biden that came before him, did the same thing that every single president has done since Barack Obama, which is bomb Yemen, right? You have to do that. It's like, it's just a part of the process. Like, you want to be president, you have to bomb Yemen, right? So why is Donald Trump bombing Yemen? We already talked about it. Of course, it's because the Ansar Allah movement, that is the Yemeni government, has implemented a blockade on the Red Sea because of Israel's genocide in Gaza. They stopped the blockade when Israel actually stopped its genocide with a ceasefire, a briefly held ceasefire, and they restarted the blockade. And in that process, they just like intercept ships and make it impossible for commercial ships to enter the Red Sea and engage in commerce. This is very costly for the supply chain, where they have to go all around the continent of Africa by way of ship. It's just like it restricts trade. This is unacceptable for America. That's why the Joe Brandon administration bombed the fuck out of Yemen for months in what was known as Operation Prosperity Guardian. That's what they called it, which a friend of the show, Felix Biederman, calls Operation Protect Amazon Prime Shipping. Now, the Houthis are pretty resilient. They're a pretty proud nation. They have overcome genocide by the Western-backed Saudi and UAE coalition. So seemingly they haven't really stopped. They have, in this process, even bombed Israel directly with loiter munitions dropped from a drone, and even with hypersonic missiles as well, allegedly. Okay? It's important to note that they have been able to also penetrate the Israeli security boundaries, the Israeli Iron Dome. Now, Trump comes into office, says Israel, am Israel high, do your genocide. It's awesome with me. I love it. Israel drops the ceasefire, continues the genocide. Houthis continue the blockade. Trump says, fuck you. How dare you? We're going to blow you up. Unlike Joe Biden, who also tried to blow you up, but we're going to blow you up harder. It seems that, according to this Al Jazeera reporter, is a traditional tribal gathering. You killed civilians. It's not necessarily surprising that they did that. They're horrible monsters. Anyway, so it's doubly ironic that the guy who is basically disrupting global trade single-handedly in ways that the Houthis could never even fucking dare to dream of disruption is seemingly in the interest of protecting shipping routes over the Red Sea, blowing the fuck out of Yemen. It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't fucking matter, because they keep they keep disrupting trade. They keep lobbing missiles against commercial ships that don't abide by their restriction. They've taken over ships in the past as well. So commercial shipments are just simply not going through the Red Sea. Trump, in the last 21, 22 days, has basically relentlessly bombed Yemen. And the cost of it is nearing the $1 billion price point that Operation Prosperity Guardian was able to get to over the course of months of bombing Yemen. So Trump is bombing Yemen even harder than Joe Biden is, and yet it's not stopping. Now, of course, there's a very simple alternative to all of this. Instead of using, all of the college tuitions, all of the free health care that we could be paying for on bombing the poorest country on the planet, we could get the other country that we give, billions of dollars of weapons to do the genocide that it's doing, to stop doing the genocide. We could just tell them to stop doing the genocide. Very simple process. But of course, because we're so horny for baby murder, we just have to do more baby murder. In order to, God forbid, someone asks us to stop the baby murder here, we're going to do more baby murder over there when where you're telling us to stop the baby murder over here. We're going to double down on the baby murder. Yeah, a less expensive way to end the attacks would be to tell our proxy state in the region to end their months-long total blockade on food aid. But no, we can't do that because we love genocide here in the United States of America. We love doing it personally, individually. We love other proxies doing it. We just like it. We just like the death and destruction, it seems. But here's the reporting from the New York Times. President Trump said this week that the Iranian-backed Houthi militants in Yemen have decimated by the relentless strikes that he ordered beginning on March 15th, and it hasn't stopped since then. But that is not what the Pentagon and military officials are privately telling Congress and allied countries. In closed briefings in recent days, Pentagon officials have acknowledged that there has been only limited success in destroying the Houthis' vast, largely underground arsenal of missiles, drones, and launchers, according to congressional aides and allies. The officials briefed on confidential damage assessments say the bombings is consistently heavier than strikes conducted by the Biden administration and much bigger than what the Defense Department has publicly described. So many precision munitions are being used, especially advanced long-range ones, that some Pentagon contingency planners are growing concerned about overall Navy stocks and implications for any situation in which the United States would have to ward off an attempted invasion of Taiwan by China. Yemen, by standing there, is actively demilitarizing the United States of America, it seems. Hasan, I support you, but you got to quit saying we in regards to the U.S. I mean, I'm not going to stop saying that. I think it's important to note that we share some of this responsibility. I will do everything in my power to try and put an end to it, and I do every day, but it does not matter. We are still, to a certain degree, morally culpable for the actions of our state. Okay? Now, I talked about that because it's yet another unimaginable waste as Israel strike kills dozens of schools in Gaza, as Israeli society is excited at the prospect of assassinating a 2-year-old who's the grandson of a Hamas leader. That is our ally. That is what we are pushing for. That is what we are defending. That's it. That's what's going on. It's fucking disgusting. God damn, dude. Holy shit.